Hey everyone, this is Connor with Indy E Cigs. So our job's kind of to sit around and vape and talk to each other and customers anyway. So we figured we'd do a little series about The Boys, because Dante got me into watching The Boys about 2 weeks before season 2 came out. Now that it's out and coming out each week, we figured it'd be a nice little YouTube video to put up. This is also sponsored by Indy E Cigs. The Hype Collection is on sale this week for 20% off. That goes from today, Friday, to next Friday. So come in, save 20% on any of the Hype Collection flavors. But season 2, episode 5.
Season 2, episode 5
How-
was my favorite episode of the season so far.
I think I would agree.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal.
It just hit on a lot of notes.
Yep.
And like some time has passed since the last episode.
Yep, exactly.
And I like what's going on. I'm really interested on what's going on early on in the episode. I want them to explore more of Kimiko and Frenchie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That whole dynamic is fantastic, and
Yep.
I want to know more of what's going on there.
But yeah, because like he obviously cares about her
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot.
And he's willing to, I mean, not willing to, he leaves her to prove his point that, like, I'm not going to tolerate this.
Yeah.
And he wants her to be better, but I also completely understand where she's coming from.
I love the line that he says as he leaves her behind. It's just so...
Go be a monster.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does he say go be a monster, or did he say go be go be the monster they created?
I don't remember.
Me either.
I don't remember.
I think he says one of the two.
But it's about
one.
being a monster.
Yeah, which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you know she still doesn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
She really wants to, like, actually do good, but she's just so, like...
Torn up.
Infused with rage.
Yep.
I don't even think it's necessarily... I don't even think it's necessarily just, like, torn up. I know that she's grieving, but she's so filled with rage.
Yeah, she's definitely anger all the way through.
One of my favorite scenes of the show so far is the hit that she does on the Russian guys.
Oh,
so
my God. I did not see that. The ear.
Yeah, the ear to ripping his
to the
entire
eyeball.
face off.
Yeah. Oh my.
So good.
And then she holstered the gun in the guy's face.
I didn't even notice that happened in the combat until Frenchie came in and was looking at the bodies.
Holstered the gun in his face. But so Stormfront is the one that I was most interested in this episode.
Stormfront's an interesting character. She's one of those characters that I really think is a love to hate her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, same with like Homelander.
Yeah.
Hence the end scene.
Yeah. I think that she's got some tricks up her sleeve.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
She's not scared of anyone. I think the only person realistically who she's a little, not even scared of, just cautious of, is probably Stormfront.
Yeah.
Or not Stormfront, Starlight.
Starlight?
Yeah.
More than Homelander.
Yeah. I think she's more because she's picked up on how to control Homelander in this last episode. So I think that the only person as of right now that she can't control and manipulate is Starlight, because Starlight is the only person aside from the boys who knows who she truly is.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But Starlight's also seeing her like on set.
Yeah. Yep.
So, well, I guess that was more Stormfront saying you've been looking at me like a lovesick puppy or whatever the line was.
I think that's Stormfront like saying like I know that you know something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she definitely pointed out like she knows.
Yeah.
Starlight released the Compound V.
Yeah.
But what about that Sage Grove? That psychiatric facility that they teased?
Yeah.
17-year-old?
Yep.
Who could it be?
Maybe her own kid.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe
That's
her
exactly
own kid.
what I was thinking.
Whoever they had, our nice little like tip of the hat that I love that they did is the guy who was playing the orderly, is Bobby Drake from X-Men.
Oh.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Nice spot that's cool. There. Yeah, nice spot.
I was like, that's cool. Because X-Men did Iceman dirty.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different can of worms I could get into.
Right. Well, the little thing I noticed, the TV show that Mother's Milk was watching, I went and looked it up. I haven't actually watched it. It's called Outlander.
Okay.
And the basic concept of the first season is this woman gets sent back in time, separated from the people she cares, or her husband specifically, and falls in with a group of Highlanders in 1700 Scotland. But the whole point is she goes to fall in love with one of these Highlanders, and at the end of the season, she has the option to go back to her proper time. And it's revealed that that scene that Mother's Milk was watching was her deciding to stay with the Highlander back in the 1700s.
Ooh.
And I really think that's an analogy to Butcher.
I think it might be an analogy to both Butcher and Mother's Milk.
Okay, I never thought about that being Mother's Milk's journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in that scene, Mother's Milk immediately greets Huey with anger as soon as he discovers what he's watching. And Mother's Milk, on the outside, is kind of like a hard ass, but on the inside is like a big softie.
Yeah, he's a family man.
Yeah, he's a family man. So I think that's really representing his journey as well. Because he's no longer a part of his family right now.
Oh, that's that's definitely Mother's Milk.
Yeah, because he's a wanted criminal.
Yeah,
wants to like go back to his family, but can't right now because he's on this journey to like make the world better for his kids.
Yep. Wow. Yeah. There you go. Another little thing I noticed. I don't know if you caught this when they were filming the lesbian scene, or Maeve coming out rather. When she comes back to Homelander, Homelander says, "This new Joss rewrite is really good, huh?"
Yep.
I didn't catch it right away. I had to rewind Joss Whedon Avengers.
Yep. Well, he's the one who did the. So with the Dawn of the Seven, they're drawing direct like parallels from Justice League.
Oh yeah.
Because Joss Whedon is the one who messed up Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love the and then the description of the episode was like the VCU, the Vought Cinematic Universe, obviously a play on the MCU.
Yeah, they're making their references to the MCU and the DCEU not so subtle anymore.
No, they're right on the nose now, but I don't mind it.
Me either. The fight scene with Black Noir.
Oh, the fight scene.
Yeah. I was on YouTube right before I watched the episode, so that part I knew that they were gonna fight because that got spoiled because I saw something on YouTube. But I immediately got off of YouTube and I was I'm just gonna go watch it now.
I really thought that Butcher would be a little bit more of a fight for Black Noir. I thought he'd hurt him a little bit.
The thing with Black Noir is that we don't have a lot of exposition to Black Noir and who he is and what his power sets are, but we do get an interesting insight into some more of his abilities because Huey suggests that they just leave in the car, and Mother's Milk responds with, "He can run faster than a car."
That was a very interesting line,
which is insane.
Yeah, but I also think he probably set off all those bombs on purpose. I think it was an intimidation tactic.
Oh yeah, because they can't hurt. They barely touched his armor.
Right. Exactly. Well, and flashing back to what was it, episode 2? When he took down the...
I think that was episode 1.
Okay,
I think that was episode 1 where he took down the soup terrorist.
Yep, and that was when he took that explosion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or as Homelander likes to call them, supervillains.
And I love that. Yep. Now, how about the Homelander Stormfront at the end of the episode?
That was... I felt like it went on for just a little bit too long.
Okay, well...
Anytime there's an extended sex scene, I watch a lot of TV with my friends and family.
It's
relatively uncomfortable to watch like a solid 5-minute sex scene with my roommate. I was like, it's cool that they're like super powered, and I feel like this is the first time that both of them have been able to like give it their all when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because they're both indestructible for the most part. Yeah. So.
Well, and the laser eyes on the tits, that's like Homelander's thing is obviously the boobs
thing,
but it also shows she can take a blast from Homeland. She's super durable.
Yep, which is going to be problematic because I do not think this little relationship between the two of them will last.
Oh no, definitely not. This is a temporary fling. They were both
they're both feeling it.
Yep, exactly. I also think Stormfront might be holding back some of her powers.
Some of it, yeah.
I think she might have laser eyes too, or something, another power she hasn't yet disclosed.
Maybe.
Because we don't know what Liberty's power sets were.
I think Liberty's power sets were Stormfront's regular durability paired with her super strength.
I think so. I don't think she used her lightning
hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm thinking if she's durable enough to hold up against Homelander, well, and in the comics, Homelander is
gender swapped.
Or she's gender swapped, but Homelander is from her genetics.
Yep.
So that's what leads me to believe that she might have the laser eyes too.
I think another interesting aspect of Stormfront is her ballsiness with like her just general racism in public.
That scene with A-Train, man. She was subtle but not so subtle.
Yeah. I think that was her like first time just like kind of not being subtle at all. Because like A-Train was like, do we have a problem?
Like he caught on.
Yeah,
he's like, not dumb.
Yeah, she was like,
no. Yeah, exactly. That was interesting.
Also, another very interesting tidbit is that she used to be in the Church of the Collective.
Very true. Yep. Very true. Well, and then she was talking about how it was pure at the start, and then they started letting everybody in. And it's like, what? But yeah, she was part of the Church of the Collective, which is very interesting.
I really liked that scene. That scene was very... because it gives you more of like that subtle background to her. And because in the comic book, she's gender swapped, and she's actually, from what I believe, and now don't quote me on this because I haven't read all of the comics, but from what I believe, she's actually the first Nazi super soldier.
Yeah, well, from what I've gathered just from the show, she's one of the first. Like, she was Vought's first successful experimentation.
Yeah, because canonly in the comics, Stormfront is Vought's first successful suit.
Right.
And then immediately after that, there's a character that has been teased and mentioned in the show and cast for next season. Not this season, unfortunately.
Right.
Soldier Boy.
Yep.
Who is what I can only describe to be a homicidal Captain America.
Yeah.
Who will be played by one of my favorite actors, Jensen Ackles.
I know. I'm so excited for that.
Super excited.
Very excited.
It's going to be very... because if he's going to be this homicidal Captain America... I'm assuming he's going to swear because it's The Boys.
Right.
Which is going to be weird to see because I've never seen Jensen Ackles swear in anything he's been in.
That's true.
Yeah, he's very... I've heard him on like Supernatural say like bitch before, but like to hear him drop F-bombs is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. I think it's a great casting. For
yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Jensen Ackles played... his two most famous roles are probably Dean Winchester on Supernatural.
Yep.
And he played in the Batman animated series. He was the voice of Red Hood.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep.
Very nice.
Red Hood.
Quick interjection here. This video is actually sponsored by the Hype Collection from Indy E Cigs. Right now at Indy E Cigs, get 20% off all Hype Collection flavors.
The Hype is amazing
too. My girlfriend's on the Juicy Grape. She can't get off of it. What are you vaping right now?
Right now, I'm on Juice Head.
Juice Head? That's the freeze. Pull it in a little bit towards it. Yeah, show her off. And I'm actually just finishing up a bottle of the Fruit Scream in my Zeus. Wait, we're both using Zeuses. Yeah. The Zeus tank's phenomenal. But back to the boys.
So here's an interesting question for you that I'll throw at you to kind of get off of us just ranting about how great the boys is.
Right.
Who do you think would win if we take away Stormfront and Homelander from this?
Okay.
And just a straight death match between the rest of the seven. We'll for brevity's sake, we'll also include Translucent, even though he's passed away.
Translucent, it'd just be hard to hurt him. I don't know how much damage he could do.
Yeah.
I feel like Starlight's definitely up there on the...
I'm gonna go with Black Noir just based off of everything I've seen because he's... Before this new episode, it was Starlight all the way.
Yeah.
But after this new episode, it's shown how patient Black Noir can be because he sat on that roof for hours.
I mean, what a great call by Mother's Milk to natural gas leak.
Yeah.
Loved that. Great little plot point. Gave him time to get ready and prepare for him to come in, even though that didn't do much. Oh, the taffy room?
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes,
I loved it.
I was like, of course, Billy's aunt is a drug dealer. Of course she is.
I can't expect anything else.
Yeah. I've got my money on Black Noir because he's shown to be patient. He's shown to be probably the most resistant to damage out of all of them.
I don't know. Starlight took that 50 cal to the chest really well.
2 shots.
2 50 cal straight to the chest.
2 50 cal shots straight to the chest. But I feel like Black Noir is patient enough. I feel like if they were all thrown in like a ring, Black Noir would be the one who's the most patient. Yeah. And wait for those opportunities of like, all right, I'm going to hide because my suit's all black and hides me in the shadows super well. And I'm just going to let these guys kind of fight it out.
That's when Starlight's got her light everything up.
She's got to light everything up. But here's the thing about Starlight's light everything up. Starlight has to draw electricity from somewhere else.
That's true. Well, and that's why I haven't even mentioned the deep, unless this arena is set in the water.
Yeah. The deep's the first to die.
Yeah. I mean, I love the deep.
Yeah.
And his whole marriage and Church of the Collective.
That was very interesting.
Tom Cruise, Scientology.
Yeah. Definitely direct mirrors of that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the Deep's the first dead. I think the second dead is probably A-Train.
Yeah. He's fast.
He's fast, but like almost everybody else on the team has massive durability.
Yeah, exactly.
So far more than what he's shown to have. Because also another thing that I watched in a video that was very interesting about, if you think about all of the rest of the heroes, Queen Maeve, Starlight, and Black Noir. So the Deep's dead and the Translucent is dead as well. Yeah. They're both going to end up dead. So those 3 versus A-Train, just in general, they have more martial arts training as well.
That's true. That's true.
A-Train doesn't have that and leaves himself open pretty consistently to like attacks.
Yeah.
Specifically when Kimiko broke his leg.
That was
brutal, and that took him a very long time to heal. Anybody else on the 7 would have
healed faster.
Yeah.
Although A-Train is probably one of the storylines I'm most interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because if he's getting replaced, he's definitely not okay with it.
Yeah.
They made that clear.
And he's probably going to be replaced from... I think what they might do in this is I feel like one of the shittier powers to have might be speedster powers.
Yeah.
Based off of one line that Ashley said, where she was like, "You lasted 4 more years than this other
Mr. Marathon."
Yeah, this other speedster. So I think that might be one of the powers that like, because if you think about it, even if you have this durability to you that allows you to run that fast. From like just a pure medical standpoint, you can only go so fast before your heart gives out on you eventually.
Yeah.
And not to mention he shot up Compound V
for how long? Yeah. Well, and how about Ashley getting some balls against him?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
Woo! Did not see that coming. They've played her as such a timid character. She finally got a moment where she stands up for herself.
I think with Ashley, it's just based off of which soups she's talking to.
Most definitely.
Because I feel like she would do the same thing with like Queen Maeve, because she knows that like A-Train and Queen Maeve wouldn't be the kind of, with like Stormfront or Homelander, she's well aware that they would kill her with no remorse and ease.
Exactly.
With the other ones, they have more of a moral compass than those two, so I feel like she knows a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Well, we barely talked about Queen Maeve. But,
true.
Yeah, that's the whole forcing, what's her girlfriend's name? Elena,
yeah.
Forcing Elena into... public relationship, which is funny because Maeve's the one who didn't want it. Public relationship. Homelander's...
I think Maeve only didn't want the public relationship because of fear for Homelander.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now Homelander's forcing it, and so she finally gets that moment where she's like, let's take him down. Let's get him. And I think Homelander's going to start making more and more enemies. I think eventually he's going to make Stormfront an enemy by something he says or something he does.
I'm just curious to see how they're going to construct this plan to bring him down. I think it's going to backfire. I think the plan will come into fruition like last 2 episodes, and I think it'll fail catastrophically.
Well, so my thoughts are either this 17-year-old in Sage Grove, whoever that is, if it's Stormfront's kid or whoever that is, has got maybe a power set that can counter Homelander.
Maybe.
Or we just have to wait for his son to grow up, which will be season 3 or 4.
Yeah. Like, If they do like a cut in time.
Yeah, true. Exactly. Like season 3 could be 6 months down the road or something, or maybe even longer to grow his son.
I'd say like 2 or 3 years, because that would leave his son at around like teenager.
Yeah.
Which I feel like at teenager level, he'd be powerful enough.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the question, though, is how are they going to take Homelander? I think it's one of those two. I think it's either his son or more likely the 17-year-old in Sage Grove.
Yeah, because I don't see his son. His son seems very protective over his mom, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So unless Becca was in danger, I don't think anything would happen.
What did you think of that? Becca not wanting to leave.
I thought that was a good decision on her part, because she's, regardless of what Billy Butcher thinks of this kid, it's still her kid, and she's still raised him.
Yeah, and she wants to protect him.
Yeah, exactly.
More than Billy.
And realistically, the world could super benefit from a superhero who doesn't have Homelander's set of morals.
Yeah.
So, like, Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, one thing that I think is super interesting that I'm wondering if they'll actually execute in the show, or if this season, or if they'll wait until next season to do. But in the comic books, Huey does take Compound V and survive it.
Yeah.
I
think it's coming.
Crazy. He just gets more durability equivalent to like Homelander and Stormfront.
Yeah.
And he also gets strength.
Okay, so he's not just a sweet character standing there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I really do.
I do too.
I don't think maybe this season, but I think it might be later.
I think it might be part of the season finale.
I could maybe see that. Yeah. Or like episode 7 or maybe 8. He does it.
With the season finales, I feel like they draw 2 different parallels that kind of intersect a little bit with the boys and with the 7.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's internal things going on with the 7 right now that don't really concern Huey and the boys. And there's also the boys' separate storyline of them as their own entity. Trying to stop the boys, or the 7. And I feel like that might be something that gives them that edge. I feel like Huey might have Annie get a hold of the Gecko.
Gecko Although again. Gecko did threaten Annie pretty hard.
Yeah, he did. But Annie's also
Starlight.
Yeah. Pick him up and snap him in half.
That's
and
true.
It'd be over.
Yeah. Well, would it?
He can regrow limbs.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and
appendages. Regrow limbs and appendages. Don't think that he can regrow a spine if she was able to just pick him up and snap him in half.
That's fair. Oh, let's see.
So I'm curious to see if they'll do that. Another thing, I'll give a spoiler warning if you don't possibly want the end of this show ruined for you, and a couple of little like plot holes. So I'll give you a spoiler warning. We'll do a nice little 3, 2, 1. So something that they do in the comics is Black Noir's actual identity is he's a clone of Homelander. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're still going to do that, because we've seen him damaged a little bit, but that was from like what I can only discern to be like a super terrorist nuke. Yeah. So, and he was only like very lightly injured. Yeah. Which, based off of what I've seen, we haven't really seen Homelander get any sort of injury. No. Which begs the question of whether or not he's going to be that clone if they're going in a different direction.
I think they're going a different way.
I'm leaning more towards the clone, because he's a very like quiet and reserved, and I feel like there's a reason in the show he doesn't talk about that he doesn't talk or that he doesn't really show any sort of emotion. Because I believe in the comic books he did talk.
That's a great question.
I believe he did, but not frequently.
Right. I don't know.
He still had like that I'm shrouded in mystery and nobody knew his real identity, but I believe he still talked.
Well, and I alluded to this in the live we did, but there was a YouTuber I was watching that suggested he might be a clone of Huey.
Yeah.
Which I could see for the show, because then you get like the badass Huey versus the weakling Huey, and then they maybe they don't give Huey Compound V. Then maybe that's the reveal, is that Black Noir is a clone of Huey, but how would they have Huey's DNA?
Exactly.
Maybe that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that could get a little messy.
Yeah.
I think that if anything, he's going to be either his own separate entity that's not connected to Homelander, or he's going to be Homelander's clone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm leaning towards the Homelander clone, though, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could also see him being someone just completely independent.
Yeah.
I could, because the actor that plays him, it's a black man.
Yep.
So I could see them just revealing him as that actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's tall too.
Yeah, he's really tall.
He's like 6'7".
I know. But I could see them just revealing it and for the show being like, hey, for anyone who read the comics, you didn't see this coming.
Yeah. Because I have noticed that they've been trying to keep things fresh and different for the comic readers, which is something that I appreciate, because like the people who are going to be really into that show, who aren't your normal like comic book reading people, are going to appreciate that, like that difference, or like even just the little things like Stormfront being gender swapped,
which I think is a great call.
Oh yeah. Another really cool call that I didn't talk about on the live that I'll talk about now is it's a little like taking the power back moment. So originally Stormfront in the comic books is a male Nazi, and the female actor who plays the gender swapped Stormfront is a Jewish woman.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Which I thought was super cool.
Yes, I thought. Well, so this is actually a detail I saw in another YouTuber's video, but I'll point it out for anyone who hasn't seen that. You know those bands she wears on her shoulders? Mm-hmm. They've got American flags.
Yep.
And whenever she's out in public, the American flags are facing stars here, stripes back.
Yep.
Which is backwards, but in the military, that's how the flags are on their shoulders, because the flag's always running forward. It's never retreating.
Yeah.
When she's in private, they're always reversed.
Yeah.
They're normal flags where the stars are back here and the stripes are leaning forward. So when she's not in public, the flag's retreating.
Yeah.
So it's a very subtle character point, but a really
Another
good one.
really subtle one is her belt. So her belt is an eagle, which like most people who would look at that would think traditionally America, very eagle-esque, but the Nazis used eagles in a lot of their imagery. Yes, they did.
Oh.
Yeah, just a very subtle, minute detail.
Well, and that's how they've made her so far. It's like, you'll catch on. You can catch on to this stuff, and she's got some racist views, really racist views. But they're subtle about it in such a way that, like, people in the universe of the boys wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Except A-Train.
Yeah. A-Train noticed.
Yeah. Well, Dante, thank you for coming in, talking about this. This was a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. We have episode 6 coming out next week.
We'll do the same thing again, have an episode up on the Friday talking about it.
Yep.
Just to finish it out, we are sponsored by Indy E Cigs and the Hype Collection. They are 20% off at all Indy E Cigs locations right now. That's going until next Friday, so the next video, and then we'll have another line on discount.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in, Dante. We'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.